Yes, they did it. There it is. We finally have our own storage chest. Let's see how many slots. What the heck? Why it's already super full for me? Maybe things that I lost or something went in here. I don't know. Like large bags too. Let me know if you have like stuff in here as well. But yeah, they dropped an update right now for Crimson Desert. I want to go all over all the patch notes. And of course, yeah, the storage is now a thing. So we can put things that we don't need anymore, like this weapon, for example. Boom. Put it in our storage so we can finally have an empty inventory when exploring. Oh my god. Oh, this is really great. I'm gonna put like a lot of the unique items that I might need later if I want to like extract some of the sockets from them. But for now, I don't need them. I'm not using them. So yes, like I said before, these developers are really, really reactive. They are doing an amazing job listening to feedback and instantly almost applying it like the game came out not even a week ago, and we already have this enormous update. Now, of course, a lot of this feedback was from the review session, but still, it's really, really great. So I will, of course, leave a link to the patch notes in the video description. They made some changes for certain main missions, but I want to, in particular, talk about these things. So they added more Abyss Nexuses across the continent of Pywell to improve fast traveling via teleporting, making it way easier and faster to traverse the world, which is kind of crazy. I mean, remember, we played before launch, and we did not even have, like, an actual fast travel point near the Greymane's camp until much later. You had to, like, unlock it through, like, a whole quest chain. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, now it's way more convenient here. The private storage that can be used to store items. The private storage is located. Yeah, we just looked at that. Reduce the time required to acquire knowledge, which is great. So yeah, when learning things. Change skill observation to be only required once to learn before to be able to use it. I did not mind it that we had to like see a skill multiple times before we learned it. It actually made sense. But yeah, now it should be way easier. Adjusted when Force Palm is learned to allow players to use it much earlier in the game. You already learn it very, very early, but obviously, it makes sense. Like, for example, if you go into the world and then do not, like, continue with the main quest, so don't go to the Abyss for the second time, then you will not have the Force Palm, so then you will run into, like, puzzles and other things that you cannot complete in the open world. So that's pretty easy, interesting. Reduce the number of hits required to lock trees. Change logging so that trees are chopped with basic swings without aiming first. Nice. Decrease the quick time event difficulty in arm wrestling minigame and when pinned by an opponent. Or mount. Like, these QTEs were sometimes crazy difficult, but it was kind of the point, right, of the arm wrestling minigame that they were difficult, so not sure why they would, like, really change that. Although I've only done it, like, the initial, like, a few times. Not too much. Improve the visibility of icons that can provide knowledge by adding icons and tooltips that show the total number of knowledge required. So yeah, that's what this is. So basically, I've only acquired the knowledge one time, but as you can see now, it says 1 out of 6. So then I can grab the book and acquire more of the knowledge. Let's see how fast that learning now is as well, because yeah, that being fast, yeah, that's great. Oh, nice. That it's like way faster. That's actually really good. Awesome. Especially when you would like go into a shop for the first time. I was like, oh, do I really have to learn all these different icons? Change the ore veins and collectibles to be discovered automatically when you are within a certain proximity. Regular ores 8 meters, tools 2 meters, bonfire, special cooking tool. That's pretty nice too. Improve the skybridge alignment device in the abyss to trigger immediately when placed in the correct activation point. Like, again, for the puzzles, they're making a lot of changes. This is great. Improved camera movement when aiming a bow at a brazier and adjust the range for lighting arrows accordingly. Added an indestructible brazier in front of the Linecrest watchtower. Improved the trading post UI to display Damien, Unka, and Cliff's horses inventory. Oh, this is pretty awesome. Added effects for destroying facilities at enemy strongholds. The effects of the facility's destruction are as follows. Infirmary, wounded enemies no longer return to the fight. Storage facilities, enemies max health minus 10%. Barrack facilities, enemies attack. It adds a bit more strategy to the outpost instead of just killing everyone. Destroy the facilities and it will actually make clearing the whole camp easier. That's great. Improve the visuals of certain puzzles for clarity. Like, I really got a lot of crap for this, for saying, yo, I don't think all the puzzles are very clear. And they are now making adjustments to that. So, yeah, I mean, Sure, it's good that there's no hand holding and all that stuff, but there is a balance as well, right? And I still think some of the puzzles in this game are very hard to understand, so you cannot even start solving the puzzle. But yeah, I'm curious what they changed here. Man, they're making the game much easier. Increase the health restored by ingredients and food items, and added new food to the Hernant Tavern. Okay, so let's see. I of course have a lot of my clear soup. That's kind of my thing. Wow, it was first 180 and now it's 240. So they added 60 extra health to that one food item that I always use. Whoa, the grilled bird meat is 120 now. Fine jerky is 160. Okay, let's go to the tavern to see the new food item she is selling. Okay, also satisfying grilled meat and fish, 280. Pan-fried rice cakes, 500 health. Oh my god, it's only one though, but that's crazy. Yeah, you cannot buy way more here. Although, again, I still think that that clear soup... I talked about it in my tips video. Totally check it out. I will leave a link to it in the pinned comment. Increased the lantern's range for detecting clues. Reduced stamina consumption for nature's grasp. That's, of course, where you lift things. Fixed an issue where pets would fail to loot items. Yeah, I sometimes was wondering, like, what is my dog doing? But, okay, it seems like that was a bug. Change certain items in the witch's shop to reset daily. That is interesting. Lowered the difficulty of the marksmanship and archery contest minigame. Dude, those were super easy. That's, of course, I think the one with Damien. Fixed an issue where the Abyss Cell's electric field would not disappear. Yeah, that was an issue and you wanted to grab the items. Change the vision, so the helmet, to be automatically equipped and play after reading memory fragments with the lantern. That's great. So, I mean, you only have to press the options button or like one other button if you play on another platform. Easy, but still. If you were checking a memory out with your lantern, you were obviously gonna play it afterwards. So it being automatically is nice. Fix the issue where stamina was not consumed after certain cutscene. I had that. I had like a limited stamina for a brief moment. I was like, oh my god, this is great. It was during the big battle where you have to lift the flags as well. So I could just like constantly hold the flags and kill enemies. It was pretty OP. So yeah, they also have some control fixes. Improve the response speed of interaction UI. Improve the responsiveness of the jump inputs. Fixed aiming to target the center of the screen when using a lantern or while unarmed. Improve the equipment quick slot so that reselecting your current equipment will stow it. Nice. Improved responsiveness of the main menu UI. Fixed an intermittent issue where the main menu would not open. Improved the responsiveness of character movement controls. Added the following shortcuts to open certain menus. I for inventory, K for skill, J for journal, and M for map. M for map was already the case. I've been using it all the time. But yeah, that's kind of the perk of PC versus console. Because yeah, normally the touchpad is like map, but in this game it's of course changing your camera. Fixed an issue where the key guide at the bottom right of the screen would not update when using guard or aim. Added default control options for guard aim, side button 1, and evade, side button 2. Change controls to maintain movement input using axiom force. Of course, let me know if you think the controls are much better. I of course will check it out myself as well. There we go, more nerfs. Reduce the health and attack of specific enemies and bosses. Reduce the stamina consumption for blocking attacks. Lower the difficulty of the ambush encounters triggered while heading towards the Red Devil boss stage. This was pretty challenging, but like fun challenging. Some bosses are insanely aggressive. That is less fun. But I did not have much issue with the ambush encounter. Yep, they nerfed King Kong. Adjusted the certain attack patterns of Rush the Slayer. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy fight, man. High five to the people that already defeated it before this nerf. But one of the like attacks where, like you see it right here, that was yeah, the boss arena was too small for that attack to be able to dodge it. Maybe you would dodge like 2 hits and then it would just keep going, and I would like always almost die when I saw that. Increase the accumulation of the stun gauge on bosses upon a successful parry. So yeah, probably making parrying better. Change boss weaknesses effect to display even if the player has not acquired the specific knowledge. Fix an issue where comm rates remain when entering a fight. Fix an issue where the fire arrows fail to ignite enemies on hit. Fix an issue where certain bosses felt unnatural in specific situations. Fix an issue where certain bosses ran away too frequently when hit under specific circumstances, fixed an issue where the blinding flash weaknesses was not properly applied to certain enemies. Yeah, you of course learned this during one of the story missions, and I never really used it afterwards because it was kind of hard to notice, so might be good to check that out now. So yeah, let's focus on a bit more like standouts. Improve food items to automatically register to a quick slot upon first acquisition. Improve the camera movement when observing skills. They already improved that with the previous update. PlayStation 5 and Xbox added a toggle for 120 Hz mode within the settings. So if you have a display that can use that, this should make it better. Yeah, PS5 fixed an issue where the game would occasionally crash when opening the map. I saw a lot of people talk about that. Improve the horse behavior to approach the player after being called. Thank God. So again, sick update a few days after launch. Like, I do think this update might be a bit, okay, like, they clearly don't want to be a Souls-like. Or, like, have the difficulty of a Souls-like, I should say. So they're tweaking a lot to make the game more approachable. But to be fair, these are, like, the early bosses. I think they're mostly changing the bosses that people have encountered so far, and that they're seeing a lot of feedback on. So there are still a ton of, like, harder bosses later on. So it doesn't mean that the whole game is easier. Although, getting more from food is crazy. But yeah, let me know what you think. Subscribe, of course. I will keep you up to date on all these updates. And I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.